The concept of growing up is not a concept that people talk about enough until it's already happening. And it makes sense. Obviously, when you're a little kid, you're not going to talk too much about growing up because why would you? You're a little kid. But once you already reach the age in which you understand that everybody will end up growing up, it's too late. You're already there. And for a lot of people, including myself, as you start to grow up, you start to feel different. You start to envy your youth. And not to say that you're not still youthful, because at 22 years old, I am still extremely youthful. But you miss those youthful times before. You miss those kid days. You miss those 16, 17-year-old days. And it's a huge struggle for a lot of people. But for me in particular, I understand and I know that I've definitely missed those times, and I wish I could go back to those times. And I was wondering why I always felt like I'm getting too old. I'm not where I want to be in life. And it doesn't make sense why I'm where I am. And I know that it's a common thing within a lot of people. And people don't want to grow up. And here's why. Growing up, obviously, it's a lot of different things that can occur. But for the most part, growing up means that you now have what? You now have responsibilities. And having responsibilities, it's a lot easier for you to just be living life on the freeway than with responsibilities. Responsibilities happen and they come as you age. Nobody wants to be responsible because for so long you didn't have to be necessarily that responsible. Now, this isn't for everybody. Some people had to start being extremely responsible at 7, 8. But for the most part, if you came from a household that was structured around babying you and keeping you down, they were making sure that you were taken care of. And the most that you had to do was make sure that you had good grades, you got to school on time, and you did everything that was told of you at home. Secondly, another part about growing up is when you start to grow up, you start to have different restrictions and restrictions on different parts of life. People that you can talk to, or things that you can do, things that you can't do, people that you can and can't see. It starts to become a thing of, wow, I'm now at the age where I'm looked at as somebody who can't do certain things. Now, this isn't to say that a 21-year-old couldn't talk to an 18-year-old if he wanted to. This isn't to say that, you're not able to do mostly anything that you want to do if you're a sensible young man or you're a sensible young woman. But now you just can't do all the things that you wanted to do because now you're older. You can't get away with the same things that you got away with when you were younger. You can't do all the things that you could do when you were younger. You're not necessarily that cute to everybody no more. You're a young man. You're a young woman. You're a person who actually is looked at their actions now. And for a lot of people, for most people, it's a feeling of, wow, I'm actually a real member of society. And in a sense, it takes away from the specialness that you feel as a kid. Because as a kid, everybody feels like, everybody loves me. I'm so cute to everybody. And it may not be a thing that you're thinking with your own head because you are a kid, but you do see that you get a lot of attention. And when that attention is gone and when that attention goes to other people, it's maybe not be a sour feeling, but it definitely is not a feeling of happiness. It's a weird feeling. It's a feeling that I know for a lot of people, including myself, I didn't necessarily like. And I wouldn't say that I didn't like that I wasn't getting attention no more. I just didn't like that now my life was different in the sense of I am a different person. I'm at a different stage in life. Another thing that's extremely crazy in terms of growing up is the feeling that it went super fast. It didn't go by super fast. It never really does go by super fast. But for a lot of us, we take it for granted for so long. And when you see that you have very little time left, now it feels like it went super fast. But it didn't really go that fast. We just don't take the time that we actually had seriously. For myself, I understand and I know that throughout my high school and college life thus far, I didn't really start enjoying high school until senior year. And I didn't really start enjoying college until junior year. Now, it's a multitude of things that I did have happening at that time to make me not enjoy it. But the reason why I didn't enjoy it was because I wasn't grateful and I didn't realize or recognize the opportunity that I had in my hands. I only looked at the bad, I didn't look at the good. So when it finally passes and that you see that the new generation, the next generation, they have what you used to have, and now you see it completely differently, and you see the opportunity at hand in a different way because now you're older and you see what life is to come, you start to feel like, wow, it went by too fast. I wasn't able to enjoy it the way that I should. But it wasn't that. It was because you didn't feel grateful. You didn't allow yourself to realize and recognize the blessing that was at your hands. And it's okay. It happens to a lot of us. But in saying all these things, it's okay that you feel like you're getting older because you are. And time is inevitable for everyone. Watching all your favorite NBA stars as kids grow old is a miserable feeling. But at the same time, it's a satisfying feeling because they made it to this point. They made it to the point where they could be older. And you have to feel the same way. You have to be okay with getting older. And when you get okay with getting older, life becomes even better because the longer and more that you push for hoping and wishing that you could be a certain age again, you start to lose out on the time of the age that you are right now. And the cycle will continue to happen. When you're 50 years old and you look back and you're like, wow, at 22 years old, I was so mad that I wasn't 16 anymore. You're going to think, wow, why didn't I appreciate me being 22 when I was 22? I'm still so young. It's still so much for me to do. So appreciate where you are in life. Appreciate the time that you got because you're only going to be this age once. You're only going to be this young or this old one time in your life. Take that for what it is, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. That's just from my eyes to yours. See y'all in the next one.